Glad you guys made it back. Hope you guys are having a nice weekend. And man, we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty with this root cellar build. You know, it's taken a little bit of time, but that's fine. We weren't in some great big hurry. We did have a few setbacks. Any project that you guys are going to do on your homestead is gonna get setbacks, no matter how much you prepare, no matter what, you know, how orderly you think you have everything. You are going to have setbacks, so don't let that discourage you. We posted on Twitter today, actually earlier, and we said progress, not perfection. So as long as you keep moving forward, shrug off the stuff that's kind of getting in your way, you will end up where I am right now, which is the end of the project. Now, first things first, after we had those walls up, the foam, everything was in order, we had to start slipping in those 8-foot walls that I built. You guys kept wondering, what are you doing with that wood? You're not going to put that in the ground, are you? Those were actually just made for forms for walls down inside the building that are actually supporting and pulling everything together so that we can put the top on, and then after that all the concrete will come on top of there. So it's actually bracing, and it also keeps the sides from shifting and blowing out. And you know, it was a little bit of a hassle to do. Obviously, it's a step that you do that you normally wouldn't do, like on wood forms for concrete basements, but the benefit far outweighs the little bit of hassle that we had to put into it. Also, when we get done with the concrete work, after it's set up and everything's dry, we'll actually take those walls out and use them on the top. We moved on to putting on the roof. Now, this was a super easy process. Each one of those panels actually have channels inside of them, and then they have these holes in them too where the concrete seeps into them, and it really just creates a nice platform. I was talking to the concrete guy, and I think he was under the assumption that we were basically going to put some 2x4 walls down in there and we were going to put some plywood down, and then that was going to be like our structure for the concrete. So he actually came over, visited the site yesterday, or actually Friday, and he was like, wow, this is nothing like I expected. And he said, you guys really know what you're doing. And he was kind of excited. He's an older guy, and he was never done one of these before, and now he's kind of excited to tackle the project. Then it's rebar, rebar, rebar. And as you can see in the front there, we actually put the rebar in the front because I need another 6 feet of concrete coming towards me this way to create our deck for what's going to go on top. So basically what we do is we concrete that in, and then you just bend those rebars straight, and then you'll be able to tie the next pad into that existing pad. So that's a little, you're thinking ahead, right? It's like a chess move. So you think ahead, you plan ahead, and it makes it a lot easier. Sure, you could drill them in and epoxy them, but anytime you can set it straight into the concrete, you're going to have a much more secure bond. Deck's still here, it hasn't fallen into the hole, and we knew we were going to lose those piers on the deck, but it was okay. We had already, figured that into the equation once we saw what we had uncovered and how the erosion was going to go. So we knew it would at least go that far, and it has stopped. We haven't had any more problems, and now we'll have concrete tomorrow, so we'll be in the clear. Even if it rains again, we'll be in good shape. So after we got the ceiling on and rebar in and all that stuff, one of the last steps basically is to take the plywood and patch up the seams. So because the blocks are like this long, every time you put them together, there's going to be a seam that's kind of exposed, So we had to, we take the plywood, put it up against there, brace it, tie it into the ties, and now we'll be ready for concrete. Well, I got the last panel on, so now we're ready for concrete. Tomorrow will be Monday morning and the concrete's scheduled to arrive. So I thought I'd do a separate video just about the concrete because it's going to be a really cool process. And I hope you guys really like that video. And then I want you to leave comments in that video if you have any questions whatsoever. once the concrete kind of sets up, Greg and myself will come back and we're going to answer all the questions that you guys might have about this build, and we're going to sit down and talk about the benefits of using the ICF for your foundation walls or for the root cellar, or any other project like this where you would need like a more controlled environment as far as temperature goes. We hope to see you guys next weekend at the Homesteading Life Conference in Hannibal, Missouri. We're going to have a great time there. It's the 12th and 13th. After that, we'll be heading off to Santa Rosa, California in September. We hope to see you at the Heirloom Expo. It's going to be a good time there. We always have a good time. Tons of people from all around the globe come to that. It's the largest heirloom get-together, gathering, seed sharing, swapping, storytelling, learning thing in all of the world. And then after that, our last gig is at the Homesteaders of America Conference. That's in October. Ton of great speakers. All the links are down below, or you can just Google them. So we hope to see you at one of those events. Next year, we won't be traveling as much, so if you guys ever wanted to catch up with us, we really put in the miles last year, and this year we got around quite a bit. So don't look for it to be a regular routine. So if you can make it out to one of those events, we'd love to see you guys. Also, thanks for watching all of our videos. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this series so far. We only have a few more steps to go, and then we're going to see where this is going to take us after we get the concrete and get backfilled, reconnect the water lines, and all that stuff. So don't forget, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. You might want to check out these videos.
And if you want to become a Homestead homie, click the picture of us below.
We will see you tomorrow.